Playing an improvised solo is a lot like explaining something or telling a story. And if you think about how we do that, it's a topic you want to explain, you start with an opening sentence, and that introduces the subject. And then the next sentence adds some more information, and the next adds some more information, and pretty soon you've said what you have to say about that subject, and that explanation is finished, and you move on to something else. Well, that's sort of the way we improvise. It isn't just melodic phrases randomly strung together. And we follow the format that's kind of an age-old concept, which is called theme and variation. We introduce a theme, let's say, that's our theme, and then we now need to develop it to make it interesting for the listener. In fact, the listener is questioning already, okay, what's interesting about those four notes? Why should I pay attention? Why should I listen to this? What are you going to do with it? Well, each theme has three characteristics. It has a rhythm, dun, da, dun, dun, in this case. It has some sort of interval, a melodic shape. In this case, it's an arpeggio going down. I could use the same rhythm with a much different melodic shape. That's a half step, a leap, and a resolution, but I've used an arpeggio instead. And the third characteristic is that this phrase suggests something harmonically. In this case, it's a major 7 chord. So with those three characteristics in mind, my solo is going to be based on this phrase. I'm going to repeat it and make variations. I can speed it up. I can play it in a different position. I can play it backwards. Right? I can embellish it. I can displace it. I can do all kinds of things with it. And it's those variations and repetitions that hold the interest of the listener. The listener wants to hear us working with something, trying things, making things up out of it, and then eventually we surprise the listener. They'll be expecting something to happen, and we'll do something different instead, and they find that exciting because they like the idea that we're going to be doing fresh, new things with the solo that we make up. And they like following this story that unfolds, this explanation about this phrase. And how long you stay with the phrase, well, if it's still interesting, you keep going. It might last for a chorus or even more in some cases, but at least it has to last long enough to get recognized by the listener as this is what the melody is that the player is working with, so they can start to follow along. That's when it's interesting to the listener.